Good afternoon, beautiful souls. This is Annapurna Devi, and I am going to give you another 3-card reading. And today I am going to be using the medicine deck from Jamie Sams and David Carson. These have been around a really, really long time, and they are some of my favorite shamanic decks, and one of the first decks that I used 20 some years ago. So I'm just going to shuffle them a little bit. I have some Palo Santo burning to kind of clear the space. Just to give it a sense of clarity and clearness to the energy. And here we go. So I'm going to do another 3-card spread. So we're just going to drop. There we go. All right, let's see what we've got. Oh, this is a really, really great pull today. Wow. All right, so hummingbird. Hummingbird is, well, it's one of my favorite birds actually in my backyard. I just love how they move super fast, just darting in and out, going everywhere, going to each of those flowers and getting that sweet, sweet nectar. And it always brings to mind sort of a happiness, a joyful feeling inside, sort of hopefulness. And I would say in this reading, I think Spirit is encouraging us to feel hopeful, to feel like there is some special blessings coming to us just right around the corner, and perhaps even have already happened today. And if we had the right eyes with which to see, perhaps those blessings have already been given to us. And maybe that's the message as well. And maybe it is a time to cultivate a practice of noticing what was really joyful in your life today, what was really beautiful in the world that you were in and moving about in, what was beautiful, what was joyful, what was uplifting. And the more that we cultivate that kind of a experience, the more that we will see more of that. And I think that is one of the best messages that we can really, really take away from this beautiful, beautiful card, Hummingbird. And here he is. Oh my gosh. Isn't he beautiful? Aww. Yeah. Cultivating a joyful paying attention, right? And I think the center card is just a beautiful card, Antelope. So antelope is obviously a wild animal. It is a cloven hoof animal, and it is found mostly in the drier grasslands of Africa. So with this, I would really say that this card is about community. It is also about hardiness. how can you create a sense of perseverance and even a sense of strength within your community? How can you become strengthened by the community, right? Everybody looks out for each other in those kinds of wild animal communities. There's always sort of a sense of the watchers on the outside, especially if the animals or the herd is getting water or if they are eating grass. There's always one or two on the outskirts you can see that are watching for predators and paying attention to where the young ones are. So perhaps this is a message of cultivating our connections within the community in order to feel a protection, a sense of support, right? Where do you go to get your support within the larger community that you live in? And cultivating that is a really, really important thing. Even if it's an online community, it doesn't have to be in the physical. As we all know, Zoom kind of became the platform for people to connect. And so if that is your community of deep support for your individual needs, then I would say that is also something to consider. And also, how can you support and be a practicing member of that community? In other words, how do you contribute to that community as well? Antelope. I like that card very much. I don't get it very often, so this is kind of fun to experience new cards. And then the last one we have is horse. So interesting, because horse is both domesticated and wild. And I think that this is also calling forth a sense of connecting to our wildness and also to our sense of civilization, right? So how can we be in both worlds? How can we consider ourselves or the wild aspects of ourselves? How can we honor that? How can we honor running free, right? Running free in the grasslands of wherever. Maybe it's the Mustangs that you're thinking of. That's kind of what I'm thinking of right now. And I'm thinking that wildness that those animals have in their life. They go wherever they want. They stay with a herd, and it's a really wonderful experience to share that freedom with others. So I think this card is calling forth, how can we free both ourselves and the community that we live in? How can we be both wild and civilized? How can we treat each other with kindness and compassion and putting forth the best versions of ourselves and still retain a little bit of the wildness that lives within us? John O'Donohue is one of my favorite philosopher, poet, spiritual wonderfulness. He is just an amazing man. He has passed on since. But one thing that he used to say is that we, as a civilization, we have tended to make our version of God something where he is domesticated or she is domesticated. And I really loved his idea of God being wild, the most wild creative force in the universe. Because how could someone be so confined into the boxes that we give it through organized religion when it has created all the wildness on this earth and within the universe? anything that can create the oceans and the wild animals like lions and bears. That is not a domesticated being. So all we have to do is look to the divine part of ourselves for that wildness, for that freedom, and know that that is a perfectly wonderful thing to be aware of within ourselves, our wildness. So as you are winding up your day, I just offer this reading to you to bring you a little bit of clarity, bring you a little insight, and hopefully a little joy, a little bit of connection and support, and permission to be wild. This is Annapurna Devi, and I'm with Awakening to Harmony. And I would so appreciate you liking and sharing. And even if you would like to contribute to my YouTube channel, I would really appreciate that. There are details in my description of how you can do that. And just know that whatever support you give, energetic or Venmo or whatever it is that you're sending, I am receiving it, and I am in deep, deep appreciation. So thank you so much. Love you all, and I will see you very soon. All right. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye now.